What is up, everyone, and welcome back to Across the Board. You have myself, JD from Line Movers. We have Alpha Dog Bets next to me, and below me, we have Hefe Picks. Gentlemen, we're in the thick of March Madness. We have games that have already tipped off today in college basketball, and I absolutely love this time of year. Hefe, how are you today, brother?
It is a sensational day. So many games, so many conferences, not even enough time to speak about them all. Games are tipping right now. It feels next Thursday and Friday can't get here quicker. I also haven't been like this into and excited, and I feel like America also about the conference tournaments in a while. I just feel like the games have been incredible.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of close games. We've seen a lot of overtime games and a lot of big conferences. We've seen star players get hurt. Yeah. We've seen other players step up. We've seen really everything in the early conference games so far. So I'm excited to see where that takes us. JD, fresh hat today as always, brother. How are you today?
Appreciate it. Doing great, man. Yeah, this is what a slate of games. Normally, like, I can go through these games fairly quick and actually just like look and be like, okay, like I think this is off, and it's a pretty quick process now. Today's slate, I am still not done capping because there are so many good games that I'm like diving into so much more. Yeah, this slate is just great.
I love it. I love the slate. I love what we've been getting into. So, fellas, let's move a little quickly here because we have a lot of games we're breaking down today. I have a feeling the chat is going to be active, asking us about some games as well. But as you guys know, what we always do on this show is we do our recap from Thursday. So we're going to start it off with JD. How did you do yesterday, bro?
Yesterday, I actually ended up juicing out. As far as college basketball, though, it continued to go strong. It was a 4-2 day. So yeah, looking for a big weekend.
What's up, Monzi? We appreciate you joining us, bro. I'll go next here. Yesterday, guys, I had a pretty solid day. The one bet I lost as a free play was an absolute gut-wrenching bet, was Wisconsin. They were up by 12-ish with about 30 seconds left. They pulled all the starters out, and they had two bench guys who played their first minutes of the year come in and hit back-to-back threes when Wisconsin completely stopped playing and put in all their reserve guys. So they were up in that game about 20 with like 4 or 5 minutes left. They ended up not covering 7, so that was a bit of a frustrating one. Still feel like we had the right side there. So I did go 1-1 on my free plays, but we had a profitable day overall, ending with Arizona money line. That was a big win for us, getting us into the green. Hefe, how did you do yesterday, brother?
3-2 yesterday. At least one of my 2 losses was not Marquette because I would not be here right now. If it was, I would probably give up watching college basketball for the weekend if I was a Marquette backer. But a good wins yesterday. Loved Missouri. Was my favorite play yesterday. They beat up on Mississippi State. And another team that I liked because I saw them in the previous round, Texas. I took them. I did not think they would win outright, but I think double overtime even that game.
Unbelievable game.
Unbelievable game. And the one game that I lost that is a team that we're going to talk about today. They won, but they did not cover is Texas Tech. Very interesting. They gave that game away 17 times and somehow still won it. And honestly, that's a trend that you could say for a few teams. Did you guys stay up late for Kentucky last night?
No, I was watching USC late, though. That USC Purdue game was insane. That went very late as well. There's so many right now.
So many. Quick note on that. Another one. USC had that game 10 times over again. But there is no team that should not be playing today more than Kentucky. Did you guys see? Up 10
I saw how it happened,
with a minute and a half left in the game. They are up 10 with a minute and a half, and somehow, with 5 seconds left, they're down by 1. And they have to go full court and hit a buzzer beater. Unbelievable. Literally heart attack game. Heart attack. I was not on the game, but I couldn't stop watching.
Our guy David is happy Hefe is back. We are happy Hefe is here as well. Kinda, maybe. I don't know. Hefe, I guess we're happy you're here. One thing I want to talk about before we jump into today's games, and this is going to be a JD question because it revolves around your team. The Dukies. Cooper Flag. I don't think we're going to see him until the big tournament. What do you think? And how would you approach? Are we talking? Hold on. Quickly, let me No, we're good. So what do you think going forward for this Duke team in their conference tournament? Is this a team that you think we're going to see Cooper Flag? Because I personally don't. I think he's going to sit out till the big dance because they don't really need him right now. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm on the same page. First off, when that first happened, I was like, fuck.
Yeah. It looked like a
nasty.
Yeah.
It looked nasty. And I was like, this was like they just played one of the worst first halves of like the whole entire season. They couldn't make a shot, and then we lose Flag like all at the same time. Like, what is going on here? But everything around him, it does seem like it's not nearly as bad as it first looked like. I totally agree, though. As far as in the conference tournament here, I do not think we even see him. I don't even think that's even something even I should really even like talk about. I honestly think even in the big dance, we do not even see him for the first game.
There you go. I was going to add that. They do not. They're going to be the 1-1. There's no need to suit up Cooper Flag against.
You think they're definitely the 1-1? You think they're definitely going to be 1-1?
Yeah.
What if they lose tonight to North Carolina?
Doesn't matter. Does not matter.
You still think they're 1-1? Do you think they'll
0%? Who would be the other one? Auburn? No. They Auburn ended their season losing 2 in a row.
Yeah, but they were both games. They had nothing left to play for. I don't know. I do still think Duke gets 1-1, but I mean, if Auburn wins the SEC championship, that is how it works. What do you mean that's not how it works? If Auburn goes on a run here, wins the SEC championship definitively, and Duke loses to North Carolina tonight, I will put any amount of money that Auburn would be the 1-1. 100%.
Well, I do have to say this. After Flag went actually out of the game in the second half yesterday, Duke scored 52 points.
They look great.
Duke looked great. So as far as tonight versus UNC team,
he's not going to be there tonight.
No, but I still think tonight Duke still gets by them fine.
Win or lose. I think they're 1-1. They face the worst 16 seed, which I believe is going to be the St. Francis College team if they make it out of the play-in, whatever. And they'll beat that team by 75 without Cooper Flag. And now in the second round is where things can get very interesting. Did you see who Joe Lenardi is forecasting their possible second round matchup to be?
No, I can't look at the potential matchups on the second round of the conference tour. Oh, God.
Really?
That would be interesting.
Because UConn would be either an 8 or 9 seed in their region.
That would kill UConn, in my opinion. But
actually, that's where I see him coming back. Though.
Me too. That's over. That's over a week and a few days of rest. That's where I see him too.
There we go. All right, boys. Well, let's get into some of today's action. First game we're going to be breaking down that tips off in just over 51 minutes is going to be Ole Miss taking on the 1-1 Auburn. Ole Miss is coming in 22-10 on the year. They are 10-8 in the SEC, taking on an Auburn team that doesn't really need an intro. They're currently ranked 3rd. They're 27-4, and they are 15-3 in the SEC. Ole Miss did me a favor yesterday. Was very happy to see that Ole Miss took out Arkansas, because Arkansas is a team that I absolutely hate after watching them go for over 10 minutes the other day and getting hooked on a game that they were absolutely dominating. So I was very happy to see Arkansas and Coach Cal get bounced. Back to this game. Big spread, 12.5 here. Hefe, I'm going to kick it to you. What do you like in Ole Miss Auburn today?
I've been trying to look at a certain trend. It's hard to follow. The team. I really have no read on Duke UNC today. UNC is playing good, and what I'm about to say kind of falls into this. I am weary of the team that hasn't played in a week versus the team that has been playing already back-to-back nights. It's your typical we deal with this in football all the time, right? Chiefs last year, perfect example. They clinch, they sit all the starters the last week of the regular season, then they get another bye week, so all the players are 3 weeks rested. Do you want to be rusty or do you want to be ready, so to speak? I don't think Auburn fears Ole Miss, and I think that is all that Ole Miss needs to start off this game heavy. I stay off this game, and I try to peek at it at halftime the same exact way that I'm looking at this Spartans-Oregon game that just tipped off right now.
Spartans 3-0. No, they're not up 3-0.
6-0?
8-2.
Wow. ESPN. Figure it out. And that's how I'm looking at it. I'm weary of the teams that are on over a week rest versus the teams that are just been ready to roll for 2 games in a row. I know that there's a talent disparity in this game, and 12.5 is a big spread, but Hey, man, look at Duke, Georgia Tech yesterday. I know Coop went down, but they were like a 23-point
22 and a half. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I definitely understand that, Hefe. I can see what you're doing. For this game, guys, I do lean Auburn. I think there's an opportunity now to regain the 1-1. That's why I wanted to ask that before we got into this game. I think Auburn has a legitimate chance to regain the 1-1 if they win the SEC tournament. The SEC is by far the best conference in college basketball, and it's by far the best conference we've seen probably in 10 years, legitimately. I think all the top contenders to win it all this year are going to be coming out from the SEC. So it's been a pretty wild year for the SEC. And I think Auburn puts on a show today. Ole Miss is going to be a little fatigued. They played that really tough, tight game against Arkansas yesterday that ended 83-80, went all the way to the buzzer. Auburn's been off for a full week. They've had a week to prepare for this game. They've had a week to pretty much prepare for any team in the SEC. And I believe in Bruce Pearl. I think he's a fantastic coach. And I do think this team will be able to get a 15-point win. I will say, though, I'm not betting this game right now. It's not on my card. It's not something I gave out. I definitely think that Auburn will get the cover, but I think there are better spots on today's board that we're going to be going into. So right now, it's a no play for me. My VIP is not going to have a bet on this game. I will watch it to see how Auburn performs, but it's not going to be an official play for me. I do want to touch on one quick thing here that Monzy Man did say, because we are not going to be covering the UNC Duke game today. Tar Heel, get ready, baby. Get ready, because the Tar Heels are covering this game. That is an official play for me. I am on North Carolina tonight, plus 7.5. So I do think I did want to get that in there because we're not talking about it. But for this specific game, Auburn Ole Miss, no action from me. JD, over to you. What do you got?
Yeah, quick as far as the Duke game, for me, that is a stay away.
Yeah.
There's one that I personally do not want to actually touch. Even with flag out, if you take those points out, this still to me is a cheap line. But anyway, yeah, like I'm just
JD, it's they're just bagging you. They're just bagging you to take UNC.
They look good. It's all about who gets hot in March, right? Realistically, the hot teams carry it over. How good has North Carolina looked in their first 2 rounds?
100%.
They've looked fantastic.
Let me tell you the two outliers: RJ Davis, Caleb Love. They are my outliers. I do not care how good they look. I will never trust them. Never. Okay? Ever. RJ's coming back to North Carolina next year for his 17th year. Don't even get me started. Are we talking about Arizona, Texas Tech? I think we are. Don't even get me started on Caleb Love. He's gonna come back next year just to play with Bronny for his 30th college season.
Wow.
I'm sorry, not Bronny, Bryce.
Wow. He's going backwards, huh?
He's never going to leave. He's just going to be coach one day.
There we go. Back over to JD.
All right. Yeah. Guys, this was my favorite play of the day by far. This is my largest bet of the day. This is the play the clients got first. This is an Auburn team that I love betting overs with. This number has already gotten steamed. I sent this out at 154.5.
Nice.
It's up to 156 or 157 now. Obviously, I'm not going to tell you to still actually take that now. I mean, actually, like if you want to play it really small, or either actually like the best thing to do would actually be probably like wait live, and just actually try to get in there. To me, like I just thought that this number was off. And this morning it like clearly got steamed up. These are both over teams. As actually like as far as Ole Miss goes, I think they can stay close to this number. But when they do that, when actually you've been seeing them play well, is actually them playing at a fast pace. And actually like Auburn, that's just kind of what they do. So I think this game is still going to be played at a fast pace to a day. These teams that I've already met twice, they flew past this. Really, actually, not even close. So yeah, I think today we see more of the same.
Yeah, I definitely think we could see that. So let's see points here. Let's see you get that over. I know you gave it out early, so let's see what we get here. All right, fellas, we're moving on to the second game we're covering today, which is one of my favorites of the day, if not my favorite play of the day. We have the Wisconsin Badgers coming in 24-8. They are 13-7 in the Big Ten, taking on Mick Cronin's boys in UCLA, who are coming in 22-9 on the year, and they are also 13-7 in the Big Ten. This UCLA team has gotten significantly better as the season has progressed. They had a very shaky start to their year. They had their coach, Mick Cronin, going on and basically crying on the air, saying that he cares more about his team winning than the players do. I guess it worked. It looked weak at the time, but I guess it did work because this team really has stepped it up as the season has progressed. Hefe, we're going to start with you. Big Big Ten battle today. What do you got?
Wisconsin played tail two halves yesterday. Really did not like what I saw of them in the first half. Second half, they came out much better effort. They should have covered. Stupidly didn't cover.
Yep.
I think that was actually a buzzer-beating 3. That made
it was
10-7. Yeah.
It wasn't buzzer beating. They made it, and then Wisconsin just dribbled the clock out. So there was like 10
but it was like less than
left,
3. That shot meant nothing.
They brought in the reserves. There was a guy who's first minutes of the year.
Najee is the best player on the court tonight, but by far for Wisconsin, for both teams. I mean, but this line is, I don't get it. Neutral court, maybe. Wisconsin's better than UCLA. Line's giving me a little bit of hesitation, but I'm going to go with my theory again. UCLA, this is their first game, right? Yes. They had the bye.
Correct.
Wisconsin's primed, ready to roll. I think they come out hot. I think they come out on their all gas, no break. Give me the money line. Wisconsin.
Yeah, I'm with you all the way on this play, and this will probably be a free play I post on Twitter immediately after the show. But I am all over Wisconsin on the money line here. They just are better than UCLA, in my opinion, almost every facet of the game. I like the big men that they have down low. Winter does a great job at securing the rebounds. As you said, Tanji is probably the best player on the court. He's averaging 19 points per game. And to me, probably the best knockdown shooter in this game is Max Klesmit, also on Wisconsin, who also is a great passer, good facilitator, and the way they space the floor is fantastic. They also have Steven Crowell down low, the big center, and it feels like every year Wisconsin has a Steven Crowell. His name might not be Steven Crowell, but there's always a guy who plays identically to Steven Crowell. That's the way this team kind of is built, and I think they have a big performance against UCLA. Like you said, Wisconsin did play yesterday. They had a decent first half. They were beating Northwestern by 7. The second half ended as a even score, so that the game ended with the first half spread. But I think Wisconsin's going to take it to them today, and I think this game is not going to be particularly close. I think Wisconsin is by far the better team. I think they're coached better, and I think their players have more experience in spots like this. So give me Wisconsin on the money line. Definitely one of my favorite plays today. JD, tell us why you love UCLA and how me and Hefe are morons.
Nope, guys, I'm on the same side here. This was going to be my Twitter free play also.
Oh, maybe we'll collab it. Maybe
we need to not a little collab here.
All right.
Look, what David just said is 100% on everybody's mind.
Yep.
I just don't get it. I just don't get. Sorry to cut you off. Why the public would be on UCLA? Unless I missed something in the last.
They're trying to get more money on the UCLA side, is what it looks like. I think that's what David's referring to here. That's why he's also on Wisco money line. So I think that backs up our play even more.
I honestly don't think that like as far as this actually Badger team, that the public doesn't understand like how like good they actually are. They are a very balanced team, and actually that's why I love them actually so much.
Yeah, they are.
They are a extremely balanced team, and actually like both of y'all made great points here. And the only really thing I have to add to what y'all said is UCLA, we've talked about it before on the show in the past, when they are not playing on the West Coast, when they have to travel east, they just have not played well. That happened the whole season long. And of course they're not coming like all the way to the East Coast, but they're still coming east though.
Mm-hmm. This is definitely Indianapolis is definitely east for them.
So that's what I'm saying. Like to me, this is just a Badger spot here. To me, I actually think this line is a great line for actually them. So yeah, I actually love this spot here.
All right, JD, we'll have to be talking a little bit because I think that we're going to have to put something out for the people here because we both love Wisconsin. Maybe we'll be able to get Hefe to join us. I don't know, but it seems like he's off of them for the way he did take them, but it doesn't seem like it's an official play for you, right, Hefe? You like him?
No, it's an official play for me. It's just not one of my there's 17,000 games today. I would say if I had, this is the one that's right on the brink of my best bets.
Understood.
I have 3 best bets. This is my 4th favorite play of the day.
Okay, that's fair. I'm sure the people like that information. That's good info coming from you. All right, let's keep it moving, boys. Next game we're breaking down. I know Hefe's going to have a big play on this game because I know he loves one of these teams and has been doing very well with one of these teams. And that's the Marquette Golden Eagles taking on the St. John's Red Storm. Marquette's coming in 25th ranked in the nation. They are 23-9 on the year and 13-7 in the Big East, while St. John's is 28-4 on the year and 18-2 in the Big East. St. John's coming in a 4.5-point favorite. Hefe, I'll let you kick this one off. What do you got?
I get it, why these spreads are so short, but St. John's is a better team than Marquette is. Marquette, listen, they beat Xavier. I know it says they won by 2, but they won by 5 because I'm not even going to think about that last second heartbreaker of a shot by whoever that was for Xavier to cover the spread for them.
Mm-hmm.
Marquette's a good team. Cam Jones is a great player, but St. John's is on a mission. Their absolute mission right now to win the Big East and make sure that they are a top-level seed in the tournament and get the respect that they deserve. Little thing here that I think is super important. This is a home game for St. John's. They play in the Garden during the regular season, and the Big East tournament, for whatever reason, is in the Garden, and that's why the Knicks go on the road for 2 weeks. Don't get me started.
It's every year, right? I remember as a kid, I used to go every year. I don't think they've ever
every
changed it.
Yeah, listen. As a kid, you don't think that the second I bring up the Big East tournament, Cardiac Kemba is not in my head. The step back versus Pittsburgh, I'll never forget that in my life.
Was it 6th overtime?
It was like the 6th. No, yeah. It was like the 6th overtime.
Don't act like I don't.
Cardiac Kemba over Pittsburgh, 2011, I believe. I was a sophomore in college. Oh my God, what a shot!
Who was the player? Who was the player on Pittsburgh? They had a guy, a big man, and he went to the NBA. And it was terrible.
DeJuan Blair.
It was terrible. Thank you.
Drafted by the Spurs.
Yeah, thank you.
So there's one thing here that I think is why this spread is so short. Last time these two teams played, albeit in Marquette, St. John's beat them, but it took all the way into overtime. Really tough game. But St. John's proved to me what they need to prove to me. This is a tough as nails team that will defend you literally until you're exhausted. They will pick you up 90 feet. They don't care. Their best player, RJ Lewis Jr., stud.
Oh, I love RJ Lewis. He's unbelievable.
Unbelievable. Great ball handler, great shooter, everything. Poised team, and that's because they're coached like that. St. John's -4.5.
Yeah, I'll jump in here next. I love the Johnnies in this spot. I think we're getting this line as it is because, as you said, the game at Marquette ended 86-84. This game ain't at Marquette, guys. This game is at Madison Square Garden, where the St. John's Red Storms are not a home team, but let's be honest here. They are the home team. They know how to play here. They know the atmosphere. They know what to do in that building. Now, Cam Jones had a fantastic game last time these two teams played. I watched every minute of that game. So did Joplin. However, RJ Luis and the big men that St. John's have are going to be too much in this matchup for Marquette. I don't see any way that the Johnnies don't win this game by double-digit points. I think they win by at least 10, and that's exactly what I'm playing. This is definitely one of my favorite plays of the day as well, and I'm all over the Johnnies -4.5. JD, what do you got?
Yeah, y'all both once again made a bunch of great points. As far as the Marquette side, it seems like money is coming in there. And part of reason why I think that is because of people of what they saw yesterday. They saw this team make a lot of shots.
Yeah, against Xavier.
Yeah. So I think that's definitely one of the reasons. But this St. John's team is just not somebody that I want to get in front of currently. I either actually want to back them or either stay off of the game. I'm going to be interested here because this line is starting to go down. I actually see a 3.5 in actually some spots now. So if this line keeps actually creeping down, I am going to be actually on the actual spread. As far as the money line, as actually as far as a parlay piece, I actually really like it for that. Y'all actually made a bunch of great points. This actually is a home game, which I don't think is. I'm not sure. This line to me is just a little weird because the market you would think would actually price that in, but it doesn't really seem like it. So I'm not sure if that's just the Marquette money that has been coming in, what, but something to me is not quite right actually, like about this line.
Right.
But yeah, but as far as St. John's, just as a team, one of the major things I like about them is just the way they play. As far as the actual three ball, they don't have to have that. Like they can beat you without, like getting hot from actually three. And if they
couldn't agree with you more. Yeah,
yeah, and then if they are making threes, like it's just over with.
They'll win by 20 if they're making their threes.
So like actually, that's why I really love this team.
It's gonna Richmond for St. John's has to have a big game. Has to contain Cam Jones. I believe yesterday I'm blanking out on the player for Xavier, but he
38 points.
Scored. Okay, there
38 points.
He went off. I can't remember his damn name, but whatever. He went absolutely off. They absolutely Marquette cannot afford to give that type of space and those type of opportunities to anybody on St. John's because they will rip the different caliber of athletes on St. John's. And exactly, St. John's is huge, and they are physical, and they will absolutely run the boards. They will out hustle Marquette to the loose balls, and the turnover margin is where I'm looking at this game being decided at. Look, this game could be tied with a minute and a half left, and St. John's can easily still cover. 5 points in college basketball is nothing.
Correct. Yeah, we've seen that in a lot of these games. Sometimes you have the right side for what is it, a 40-minute college game for 39 minutes and 45 seconds, and then it just comes to a halt. So you definitely have to be careful. Yeah. I think Johnny's, though, is definitely the right side. I think all three of us are on the same wavelength here. All right, fellas, let's keep it moving. We have two more games we're breaking down today. The next game we're breaking down is Hefe's favorite team with his favorite player, Arizona Wildcats, with Caleb Love, taking on Texas Tech, the Red Raiders. Texas Tech's coming in 9th ranked in the country. Arizona's coming in unranked. And this is, guys, the Big 12 semifinal. It's a pretty big game here. Arizona had a very impressive win over Kansas, where they scored 88 points, only gave up 77. I know it's hard to say impressive win over Kansas, but to beat Coach Self in a big-time game in March is still a big win for that team. Texas Tech also had a big win. They barely snuck by Baylor, but they did win 76-74 in yesterday's matchup. JD, we haven't started with you yet. What do you got in this one?
For this game, I do not have a play yet. This is actually one of those later games that I haven't been able to fully dive into yet. As far as the Zona side, I was on their over. That was actually last night, and that one flew over. That one wasn't even close. By my numbers, just really quick, it actually says the same thing here. And there would be where I would lean. But this is a game that I need to spend a little more time with.
Hef.
Looking at the numbers from yesterday, so unimpressed with both of these teams in Arizona, Kansas.
You going to talk about the 48th Toppin brother in this game?
Yeah. Who, by the way, is not related.
I think he
Texas
is.
JT? No, he doesn't look anything like them.
I Googled it, and it says, I Googled JT Toppin brother, and it says Jacob Toppin brother, Obi Toppin. So it's giving me a little misinformation.
No, JT Toppin is the Big 12 player of the year, and rightfully so.
I do know that.
He is a force in the paint, in my opinion. He is the best player on the court in this game tonight. That Arizona-Kansas game last night, they should have just packed it up, along with the court, honestly, because that court's terrible. And just given Texas Tech just an absolute free pass right into the Big 12 finals. Here's the thing. Texas Tech shot incredible from three-point range in the first half yesterday. And in the second half, they took their pedal off the gas. They thought that Baylor was a joke, and Baylor turned up the intensity, started getting a lot of steals, a lot of turnovers, and honestly had many of opportunity to win that game before Tech finally took it over. And I think they went 10 minutes without making a bucket. So in tonight's game, I in no way, shape, or form would ever back Arizona. This is a team that I have no faith in. They're a team that's extremely hot and cold. They're a team that when it gets tough, they do not kind of check back in with themselves and grind it out. This is a team that finds it hard to come back from a deficit. And that's what I'm looking at here. I think Texas Tech on the money line is the play. It's going to be an ugly game. I don't think either team's going to shoot great, but I think JT Toppin is the difference maker and the best player on the court. But don't worry, if you're a Caleb Love fan, he will be back next year for his 17th year in college.
Hefe also dropping a new one for us that I'm going to be using going forward, and that's taking your pedal off the gas. I absolutely love that. I'm not sure what it means, but it gets the people going. So I'm in for that, Hefe. We're going to go over to JD.
Footy. I'm going to trademark that, so please take that off the screen. Thank you.
I'm not going to lie. Me and JD made a little eye contact when you said that. And I think we were both trying to figure out the meaning, but that was funny. Over to you, JD.
I've already broke down this game. Lean over.
Lean over. There we go. So now we're going to me. And I hate to say this, guys, but this is a no play for me. There's no way in hell that I could back Arizona with Caleb Love on the same wavelength. There's no way I can take Texas Tech either, because I truly think this one is a toss-up. I think the line is correct, where it's a 1.5-point spread. I think this one is going to come down to the wire. If I had to make a bet on this game, if you guys were forcing me to make a bet on this game, which I'm not actually going to be doing, I would take Arizona, which I know.
All right,
but I
see you guys later.
But it's not an official play for me. I do think Arizona probably does get it done, but I'm not going to have an official play on this game, like I said. All right, boys. Well, that's going to do it for the college basketball segment of this show. Guys in chat, if you have any other questions, if your name is not Footy, put them in there. We'll answer every single one. If your name is Footy, think twice about putting anything in the chat, because we probably won't address it. But, fellas, we're going over to the NBA, and we're covering one game in the NBA today. You guys ready to dive in?
Let's do it.
Let's put our pedal to the gas, baby. Pedal off the gas, whatever the hell you just said. We're going to the Cavs taking on the Grizzlies. Main storyline in this game, guys, that everybody knows is that Donovan Mitchell will not be playing in this one. Low spread here, only 2.5 points, but I think that's for good reason. We all know the Cavs are coming in 15-game win streak. They've been the best team in the NBA, one of the best seasons we've ever seen in the NBA. Only 2.5-point favorites, and I think that's due to the fact of how good Memphis is at home. Memphis is 42-24 in the year, but at home they are 24-10. I have a few props I love on this game. I did an article this morning breaking down my top 3 props, so I'm going to wait to give those out. Hefe, I'm going to kick it over to you. What do you like in this game?
I remember like 2 years ago, or maybe it was in last year, no, it was 2 years ago in the NBA, whenever a star player was out, you always back that team no matter what.
Yeah, things have changed a little bit.
Things have definitely changed, but this is one of those situations where I have to. And I'm starting to gain a lot of damn respect for the Cavs. 15 wins in a row. I don't care who you play. For that to not be your only single double-digit winning streak of the year is extremely impressive. They are the best road team in the NBA. They can honestly get through any adversity right now with their depth. I keep saying that trade for DeAndre Hunter was so good. And even without him, they still have incredible depth. Darius Garland is real. Evan Mobley is real. Now, I think that he has the ultimate eclipser today, kind of equalizer, in terms of Jaren Jackson Jr., because they kind of are the same person.
If he's able to go, he's a true game-time decision.
I think he goes. The line
indicates he's going.
Yeah, this is big for Memphis. For Memphis, I'm done doubting the Cavs. I'm taking the Cavs on the money line. I know Spider's out, but it doesn't concern me as much as it should. Give me the Cavs on the money line.
JD, you want me to break down my props first? You want to give your pick on this game first?
I'm just gonna go. Go ahead and go here.
Do it.
Because basically what was just said, I feel the same way. Yes, like I understand, like actually, like who's like out of this game. But for me, it's one of those things. Just actually, like Hefe says, I just don't care.
It's no whatever. Okay.
Yeah, it's this actually Grizzlies team, man. I talk about them all the time.
You were never allowed in Memphis.
Let me tell you something, guys. I know I'm jumping in here. This Michigan State game is stressing me the hell out. This Michigan State game is crazy. Sorry, continue.
Oh, sorry. Before you even get that, what did I send in our personal text? What did I send?
That I would care about the Michigan State game.
No. What was my next text? JD knows what I'm talking about. I said Oregon first half, Sparty second half.
Well, Sparty's winning in the first half right now, but they're only up 2. They had a bigger lead.
Well, it was a 3.5 point spread, so watch your mouth.
Yeah. There's still 7 minutes left. Okay.
Watch your mouth.
But yeah, back to this Cavs game. The Grizzlies. Okay, why they get me going as much as they do was because the first half of the season I cashed with them so much, and then after the All-Star break, just nothing. What they've covered one game out of their past like 14, and honestly, that like cover was like bullshit. The way they even covered like actually that game.
You are so angry. Memphis.
JD's never going to Memphis, even if there's a fire. He's never going to Memphis.
Ever.
Like they're just killing me here. And then okay, they've actually won actually like 4 straight games. But like look who they've played. The Jazz, the Suns, the Pelicans, and the Mavs. Okay. Like I'm not impressed by any of that. I like don't know. Cavs seem way too square. I can only bet the Cavs here. Like that's just it. Like I can only bet the Cavs.
Well, good thing I'm on this show, gentlemen, because at least I have some player props to give some people anything else but Cavs money line. So
I'm going to tell you right now, Alpha, if you even say anything over on any Grizzlies player, I think JD jumps through the screen.
Well, we'll see him jumping in just a moment. Then won't we? First one, boys. It's a Cavs prop. Darius Garland over 23.5 points. In the last game that we did not see Donovan Mitchell, their most recent game played, he scored 30 points. This game has an extremely high total, guys. Someone has to make up the usage and the scoring somewhere. This game currently has, let me pull it up here for the up-to-date line, a total of 245 points. So I do think Darius Garland is going to need to go significantly over that 23.5 if you do think the Cavs are going to win and cover, which I think he will be able to do even if they don't win the game. 23.5 is not a lot of points. He's averaging just over 21 points per game with Donovan Mitchell in the lineup. Without him, he's going way over 25. I think we see that continue. So my favorite prop on this game is going to be over, let me get the exact number here, 23.5 points for Darius Garland. Before I get to my next one, Joe is asking what's DeAndre Hunter line. DeAndre Hunter is a true game time decision. There are no odds available on him currently. So if he is able to play later, maybe they'll put some out. But it kind of looks like Hunter is not going to be playing in this game. Second favorite prop in this one is going to be another prop on the Cavs side. We're going Max Strus over 2.5 3-pointers made at minus 125. To me, Strus is another guy that's going to have a big game. He will be in the corner. He should be open pretty often in this game. Last game, he attempted 6 to 7 3-pointers. If he's able to get that kind of usage again, I don't see there's any way that he doesn't go over that total. And my third and final player prop is another over. And here's the one JD might not like. It's going to be Jalen Wells over 1.5 3-pointers made for Memphis tonight. Jalen Wells is that rookie who's been really good for this team. He's averaging just over 14 points per game. And in a game that has a total of 245 points, he's probably going to have Max Strus on him as well. Max Strus is going to be hitting threes in his face. He's going to be taking some threes back on the other side. And I see Jalen Wells going over 1.5 3-pointers, and the odds on that are currently at minus 135, guys. What do you guys think about my props there? Hefe, start with you. What do you think of the props?
There's going to be a lot of 3-pointers hoisted in this game, so I like the 3-pointer props. The angles, I think somebody mentioned before, but Ty Jerome is always a player that I look at whenever Donovan Mitchell's out. Trying to think who else on that Cleveland bench is a shooter. I can't think of anyone. Yeah, no, that's probably it. I like Ty Jerome. I like Strus. And Garland is going to be your main facilitator, main shot taker.
I think he's going to be the biggest beneficiary of Donovan Mitchell not being there, which seems to happen every game he's not there. He did score 30 points last game, and I think he does something similarly. He's going up against John Morant. John Morant's going to have his moments where he drives to the rim, gets some big-time dunks. He's going to need to answer on the other side.
I want to say something about the Cavs this year. I saw a stat. I had to double-check it just now.
Wilbur, they're 56-10.
Buddy, I mean,
they're 50 or 55 and 10.
I mean, men lie, women lie, numbers don't.
5 to 10 NBA seasons in history. That's not debatable.
Listen to this. Have you heard the phrase the Cavalanche?
No.
That's when the Cavs are down in a game at any point, and you immediately smack their money line for them to come back. Do you know how many wins they have this year where they have been down at any point during a game and come back, even if it's 1 point? 45.
Avalanche, baby.
Did you see what I said? How many wins do they have on the season again?
55.
So, other than 10 games this season, at some point in the game, they have been behind, whether it's, an opening basket, they're down 2-0, whatever. So, 45 times they've come back and win a game.
There we go. I like that. All right, boys. But that's going to do it for the game section of our show today. What's not a word, Footy? What word did we use? Cavalanche. We don't need to hear what he says. Any other games you guys want to talk to? Any other plays you want to give out before we do the rest of what we do on this show? Anyone in chat have any other questions before we get into best bets? And we go over some news for next week's show start times. Or any other games from JD or Hefe you guys want to give a play out on?
There's so many games. So some later games that I'm looking at but haven't decided on. I think the Maryland game is very interesting.
So do I. Who do you like in that one?
Maryland,
Illinois. I was about to bring that one up.
I lean Terps because I think Derek Queen is the best player on the court, but
yes,
Illinois looked very crisp yesterday, and they look like a good. Once again, the team that had a great game yesterday, momentum going against the team that hasn't played in a week. I do think the Terps figure it out and win this game, but damn, that line at 1.5 is. I would have honestly liked this. I would have felt better about Terps at -3.5. Then I would have been all right.
So JD, let me what's the word I'm looking for here? Let me break this down from the two of us and what we're doing. I'm on Maryland and JD is on Illinois. Do I need to say anything else?
Yeah.
There we go. I had a feeling that was going to be the case. I love Maryland. I love Derek Queen. Let's go, Terps. All right, boys. Still a few things we do on the show, as we do every single day. So let me first pull them up, because I'm not used to this, because as the last show, you guys know I had those fire alarms, and JD had to take
Oh, don't say it. Don't say it.
Oh, God. But I'm back in the saddle, and I got it running. Before we go into best bets, guys, we do have to make an announcement. Next week, show times, Monday, Thursday, Friday, we will be here. The shows are starting at 10:30. You guys know why. Games tip in March Madness at noon. I believe that's the first tip on Thursday. I believe it's 12:20 on Friday. That's what it normally is. We want to be on here at least an hour earlier so we can give you guys a ton of picks and break down both of the opening rounds. So make sure you guys check that out. We will be here on Thursday and Friday at 10:30. Monday, we're doing the same time as well to keep the week consistent. But next week, you'll have us at 10:30 instead of noon. Just make sure you guys are aware of that. All right, boys. We still have one more thing we have to do on the show. It's the part of the show that everybody's kind of waiting for. As soon as I can find the best bets graphic, we're going to go right into it. And I found it. So we're going to go right into it. Hefe, how many best bets you have for the people today? 1, 2, 7,
3.
What you got?
We talked about them all, so it'll be quick. Cavs money line in the NBA. Teams won 15 games in a row. What more do I have to say? And then in CBB, I'm looking at Texas Tech money line, and I'm looking at the Johnnies -4.5.
There we go. JD, what you got? My voice just cracked terribly there. Oh my God.
I had to. One of them, the line has actually moved a little bit too far now to give that one out. So I will still give out the other one, and that is going to be Wisconsin on the money line. You can get that at -125. Definitely.
Is that a daytime tip?
Yes, that's
wow.
2:30.
Nice.
I feel like I can't do just one.
You can't. No, that's a rule on this show. It has to be 2.
Throw out something crazy. Throw out like a Kennesaw State. Throw something crazy out there.
Rutgers to make the tournament at 15 and 17. Let's fucking go.
Hang on. Okay. Let's actually go to Indian Wells.
Guardian Wells.
Matches tonight around 7 o'clock. Let's play Iga Swiatek over 12.5 games.
Did not see that one coming.
I didn't either. But I love it. I love that idea. A little Iga action in the Guardian Wells. JD, it's 2025. It's not Indian Wells. It's the Guardians now, so you must get that right. I will go over
the city's name, man. It's the city's name.
They better change the name of the city. How about that? I will go over my best bets next, gentlemen. I am on Wisco with JD. Keep your eye on Twitter. You'll probably see something coming from us soon. And St. John's -4.5. Get your phones out, everybody. Get your screenshots. Get ready, because here are the best bets. The graphic looks bright and fantastic today. Wisco and St. John's for me. Hefe is on the Cavs, St. John's, and T-Tech. And JD was on the over for Ole Miss Auburn, but that moved up substantially. He's on also Wisconsin money line. What was the third one you just added, JD?
Iga Swiatek.
That's right.
Over 12.5 games.
I didn't want to get the games wrong. Iga Swiatek over 12.5 games at Guardian Wells. Fellas, it's been a fantastic show. We broke down a lot of games that are happening so far. What's the score, Sparty? We're up by 3. Fantastic. Let's go, Sparty. Let's close out. Hefe, any parting words for the people before we get out of here?
Trying to find a
Appreciate you, David.
random championship game, but I can't.
Oh, God, here we go. Hamburger with French fries over 3, and I could eat 3 hamburgers easy over 3, no problem.
Big matchup in the WAC tournament semifinal tonight, 11:30 prime time, ESPN the Ocho, Grand Canyon, California Baptist. Who do you think's gonna win? Answer. It's the Grand Canyon.
The Lopes.
It's never not
The
been
Antelopes.
the Lopes. The Lopes go crazy. -7.5. I know absolutely nothing about this game, but that's who I'm taking.
Okay, trivia before we get out of here. Where is Grand Canyon University?
Las
Here's a hint.
Vegas.
It's not in the Grand Canyon.
Arizona.
It's not for you, asshole. That was for the audience. Well done, Hefe. Glad you got it when you were just looking at the school. That is correct. It is in Arizona. Shout out Jordan Leon. If you're watching, I'm sure you're not, but that is one of our friends who did attend Grand Canyon University. JD, do what you do, baby. Get us the hell out of here. I got to go watch Sparty.
Yeah. Guys, next week's shows are going to be awesome. Definitely get in here early with us, especially even on Monday. I know there's not big games are not going on. We're gonna have something. We are definitely gonna have something special for y'all. Maybe gonna do a bunch of Final Four talk and stuff like that,
or a shirtless episode.
You never know.
Let me tell you. It's being discussed. It is not confirmed. But word on the street is Alpha will be on camera from the start of Thursday's show till the end of Friday's show. It's going to be called the MoneyBall Metrics Marathon. Stay tuned. We will be dropping exactly what he will be doing.
Stay tuned. Any final words, JD?
Stay tuned. Yes. Everybody. It is Friday. The week's about over. This weekend is going to be a lot of fun. Let's all win a bunch of money. Let's get out of here. Let's fucking win.
Let's fucking win. Let's circle the wagons. Let's have a big weekend. We appreciate every single one of you for being here today. We'll see you Monday.
Carl Anthony Towns, 50 points tomorrow. F. Draymond Green.
It's Monday. We'll see you at 10:30. Shirtless episode. Be there. Peace.